Hey everybody, and welcome to the first episode of L's Speed Shop, a show where I'll try to weekly release videos of me working on various things. In this first episode, I'm going to take you around my newest project. This is a 1947 Ford Super Deluxe with a flathead inline 6-cylinder and a Maverick. I just picked this car up. No idea the mechanical condition. The guy I bought it from said he's never had it running. It allegedly has a freshly rebuilt Jasper Reman engine with less than 100 miles on it, but he said he never got it running. The body is, for a 47, is actually in really good condition. Got a few dents and dings there. The hood, or the roof, was caved in from a tree limb falling on it. I got part of it beat back out. Surprisingly, not a terrible amount of rust. The worst parts are the fender corners underneath the trim. All the rubbers are rotting off. Chrome on the back bumper is gone. The body underneath the trunk is pretty much completely rotten. A little bit of rot on the taillight pods. Some old Bondo dents and dings. But overall, it's pretty sweet. The tires were flat. I aired them up so I could move it back a little bit. So we'll take you around to the trunk. Show you inside. This is probably the area with the worst rust. Got trim rings, breather, fuel neck for the Bluetooth fuel tank. But the trunk floor, as you can see, is pretty much gone, but that's not unusual for, let me try and get a little light on the subject. Okay, phone's not cooperating. Oh well. A little bit of rot, but not too bad. And plus, one second, is the inside is in surprisingly good condition. All the glass is there. We have some freshly reupholstered seats that have been in here for who knows how long, just sitting. The floors, from what I see, are actually solid. Roof, headliner's obviously gone. And you can kind of see the dents and dings, but overall pretty good. The biggest issue is, sorry about that, hood release. Cable has snapped. So I have not seen this engine other than the oil pan. So I'm about to crawl underneath and see if I can get the hood to pop open. Follow me along as I try and get access to the bottom side of the hood release. Alright, we are back. So, sorry for the horrendous close-up, but can't get to the hood release because this very rusty, crusty air dam for the radiator is in the way. I have sprayed the bolts with a little bit of PB Blaster in the hopes that we'll release, but let's see how many we can snap. Oh, that's impressive. That one came off without too much fuss or fight. Maybe. Or the top's just spinning, which seems to be the case. Hold for station identification while I investigate, aka crawl myself out from under this car. Alright, so upon further investigation, the bolts actually come all the way through. So I'm gonna have to grab a wrench and see if I can get these to come loose. Somewhere up in here is what I am trying to do. I will be back in a moment. Alright, welcome back. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to film and use both hands at the same time, but I got the air dam moved out of the way. So now, hopefully, I can get the hood release pulled and then get this hood open. Be back in just a moment. Alright, a little bit of tugging and finagling, and the hood should be finally about to come up. Let's see. It's trying to. Hold up 1 second, need both hands again, and we'll get this hood up. And here we are, a little bit of PBA blaster on the hinge pit swivels, and the hood is open. And there is the Ford Flathead 6 in all its glory. And this is the first time I've also ever looked at this thing under the hood. So, for giggles, let's see what the oil looks like. Well, oil is there. Still has viscosity. And doesn't look milky. So maybe this motor doesn't have just a whole lot wrong with it. This thing is kind of a screwy design. If you're not familiar with these old flatheads, which I'm not really either. This is the first time I've ever put my hands on one. But they don't have a water pump. Except for, it looks like this one actually does. They supposedly don't have a water pump. I don't know if that's an aftermarket or if the internet lied. Which, as we both know, never happens. Everything you read on the internet's true. The massive single barrel carburetor that is somewhat free. And again, my phone doesn't want me to use the light, but that does something. It's amazing that this tiny little radiator can cool this thing. Let's see what it looks like inside. Well, it appears to be bone dry. Not entirely sure if that's a good or a bad thing, but it is a thing. So, that's the hood release that fault me so much. The cable had broken. A little odd. Seems like typically most 6 cylinders have intake and exhaust on the same side. Have it over here. But nonetheless, looks to be pretty clean. So that's that. I was hoping there'd be some information on this thing to see if it was a 6 volt or 12 volt system. But unfortunately, there doesn't seem to be anything left. So that's that. And until next time, where we dive into this engine a little more, I hope to get it running before I start investing money in everything else. Or at least get it spinning over. Thanks for watching, and until next time.